Poll question: will Deion Sanders still be the head coach at Colorado after this season?
Ooh.
Maybe we can start right there. It's almost a hell yeah, hell nah, but it's a lot deeper conversation. Matt's going to join us because in the news as the last 24 hours, while I was building a studio alone with my bare hands, I guess some guys went to the X and to the IG and to TikTok attacking Matt, I guess, and myself. So he did a 3-hour. This guy right here did a 3-hour spaces about Matt. 3 hours of your time in your life about another grown man fucking blows my mind. We do a show for 3 hours a day on multiple people, many situations. We do a show, and whatever's hot, we talk about it. A guy went out of their way. I would be damned. I don't know if you could pay me to do a show for someone for 3 hours and actually just talk shit about them. I don't know how that somebody could do that. But
3 hours is a long time. Trust me. We do a full 3-hour show every day.
Yeah, then they came at me. By the way, see, this is the thing. People are so delusional and thirsty that's why I call them dick riders. They're bringing up kids that I cut from my team, and there's a reason I cut them. And then they're showing like WhatsApp messages that are crossed out that don't even show the context of the message. But this is the message that everybody saw on that Netflix about the whole German kid. But you don't show all the real shit, homie. Like, this is the epitome of dick riding, in my opinion. And these are the prime sexuals who are so blinded by what Deion Sanders is himself and what he accomplished as a man himself that they are caught up on not being the man they can be. They are chasing a grown man who's a legendary NFL star, superstar. They're chasing him, trying to be like him in some facet, manner, or form, and they lost their own self in the mix of all this. And we see this every day, Smitty, in life. We see this every day, especially in the social media world where these guys have to leech on to somebody to allow them to sleep at night. Where guys like ourselves sleep at night based on you following me. There's a huge difference. I don't follow you to go sleep at night. These motherfuckers have to have the craziest, and you mentioned it about mine. I have a cult-like following. Donald Trump and Deion Sanders has a cult-like following, regardless of color, race, or creed. At the end of the day, if you have a following that is very, very synonymous to who you are and very, very like these motherfuckers will go at you that never met you, but will go at you because of who you are and how they follow you and how they believe in you. They believe in Deion Sanders, dog, which is kudos to them. Shout out. I love it. The problem is you aren't creating your own legacy. You are being your own man. And when Deion leaves Colorado, homie, you are nobody. You're never going to be talked about again. Dalvin the Truth or whatever your name is. Nobody knows you, dog. You're a nobody. But Smitty, my point is, before you answer the question, Big Matt bled there, cried there, sweat there. Like, it's not a guy that's just on a podcast.
Right.
Like, this guy played there and had the last real good season there. And these guys have, again, to my point, pay no homage to guys that actually did it. And then they have a problem with someone that played at the highest levels opinion. When you are a nobody who's done nothing, make it make sense, man. But the poll question, Smitty, Deion Sanders, I'm leaning towards that he's gone. Where you at?
Man, this is a hell of a question because, like, I've been on the record saying that I believe Colorado will win 7 or 8 games this year, which I think is considered a pretty good season, all things considered, for Colorado. So, like,
See, no, time out, Smitty. Here's this. It's funny.
Yeah.
Smitty on the rise. Don't get in this, fam. See, people are really like. I think I saw one of your DMs or Instagram posts. Somebody said that. You
the comment,
You let JB talk about sisters and shit, motherfucker. First of all, I got a black daughter. Number one. Number two, motherfucker, show me what you've done for sisters, Mr. Commenter in the chat and on IG that comes at Smitty about what I say about abroad. It's our show. What I do is what I do. I am a grown man. I do what I do, and I say what I say. Smitty's a grown man and actually defends himself or his opinion and belief his way. He has never done anything to disparage or discourage or talk shit down on anybody. That obviously a black man who has a black mother, I don't believe realizes he's gonna. You motherfuckers are really delusional out here, man. I swear to God, you really are delusional. And don't listen. You listen to sound bites and trigger words, and then you sit there and say, "Oh, that's who Smitty is," because you're on with me. Let's just be real. It ain't no other reason why. If you was on a show with anybody else, they wouldn't tell you shit.
Everybody be happy and just
kudos to you. Yeah, kudos for you. Kudos to you for being here and dropping.
You know me, JB. Hey, I'm my own man. I ain't scared, and like you said, I'm okay. I'm okay with disagreeing with somebody and still having respect and having conversation and dialogue. I think that's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you just see another perspective. So, but to answer your question, man, you know what? I'm actually leaning towards no, that he won't be here next year. And I know that might be a surprise, but for me, it's not about him not being successful this season, because I actually do think they're going to have a pretty successful year. And I think that's part of the reason why I think he'll leave. So one part of it is because I know Shador's leaving, Travis leaving, Shiloh's leaving, right? So that's number one. Number two, with all these stars leaving your team, there's no guarantees that these guys will be replaced, especially at the quarterback position. So let's say they do go out here and have an 8, 9, 10, whatever winning season this year, right? And say I'm right about it. He doesn't want to come back the next year and almost have to rebuild again and then end up having another down year. You kind of want to leave the year off or the season off with a win, with a make, so to speak. It's kind of like when all the hoopers in the chat, if you're like shooting around the basketball court, you never leave the court with a miss. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you make that last shot before you walk off the court. So it's kind of like that same mindset, because you're only as good as what we've seen last. And whatever side Deion wants to go, if Deion wants to go ahead and stop coaching and go support his kids at the NFL level, then that's reason A why he might stop coaching. Reason B, though, is he want to go to a bigger, actual Power 5 somewhere. And if he goes out here and be like, hey, I took a team that won 0 games, and within 2 years, we didn't won 8, 9 games, made it to a bowl game. I got 5 or 6 NFL guys. Now he has a little bit of a resume where I could see Deion getting a bigger opportunity, not just because of his coaching ability, but also everything that comes with it, the marketing, the increase in sales, the tickets, etc. So I'm kind of leaning towards no right here, JB, that he won't be returning next year.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see it. I don't see it. But it's crazy though that these cats that come at you and us and all these people that come at Matt about this Deion Sanders whole thing. It's because they're in. Deion, to be honest, is in content creation now. That's his world. This is the world that we live in. You see a lot of coaches doing it. Social media is a attractor of many young kids and others.
Yeah,
but
real quick too. But before you move on, I agree with you 1,000% on the Matt slander. Listen, you guys want to come at JB, you want to come at me, whatever. All right, whatever. We all do it. It's social media. We all got podcast platforms where we go at people. But for you to say, I can't remember what the exact message said on that little audio recording. It says something about Matt. It says, keep Matt far away. Thank you, Bailey. Come on, man. This makes zero sense, Dalvin True. And I don't know Dalvin True. I know he's a big Prime fan. But for you to say an alum who gives back and has been giving back from day one to the university, who actually interviewed Prime and sat down with him, and to my knowledge, Prime actually likes Matt, doesn't have an issue with him. He was in the locker room all last season, supporting the team, he still to this day supports him. For you to say keep him away, that's like somebody at Ball State, like a fan or something. You know what I mean? A fan of one of the players telling, "Hey, keep Smitty away from Ball State by all means." Do you know what type of work that Matt put in at that school at university?
No, they don't know because they never did anything.
Exactly. Because if they did, there's no way that they would even make that comment. Matt can go to Colorado for the rest of his life because
this is the hypocrisy of folks like this guy Chuck, who's a nobody in the chat. So here's what I want to read you his chronological messages to you, Smitty. Man, Smitty, be quiet, bro. That's not a good comparison. So he's telling you to don't say nothing, okay? Just understand what he's saying. Now on IG, this is probably the same fucking guy, Chuck, whoever it was, said, "Speak up."
Right.
He said, "Speak up. You let JB discourage black sisters and women." So now this brother here is telling you to be quiet. It's not a good comparison. Now listen, I'm gonna go down the chat here.
Yep.
Chuck again, bro. Can't you see he's using you as the black friend? You're becoming a goofy, just like him and Matt. Hold on. Chronological, we're going to go down. If he told a player he's their Hitler, by the way, there is not spelled that way. I can imagine what he's texting your phone. Yes, Smitty, you're a goofy. He won't be in the locker room this season, Chuck said. I guess talking to Matt.
Yeah.
Let's see what else Chuck said. I ain't never told H speak up. I told him leave y'all show. I told you, y'all illiterate, motherfucker. I told you, you illiterate, you dumb motherfucker. You're a nobody. You're a nobody.
This whole using me as the black friend. Nobody's using me. Like, first of all, I made a choice to be on this show, to be on this platform. And again, if you watch the show, which I don't know how often you do, Chuck, because I can't always keep up with all the comments. I'm the one defending and supporting Coach Prom all the time. All the time. JB made a joke a couple days ago. He was like, Smitty, it don't matter what Prom and Colorado do, you're gonna find something positive about it. Because I do support. I'm a little biased. I like what Prom is doing over there. I know it's unique, it's different to his personality, to his brand, but he's never switched up. He's always been himself, whether it was a player, whether it was a personality on NFL Network, whether it was a coach. He was gonna get the exact same Deion Sanders. And I don't have a problem with it, and I'm the one defending him. So I'm just confused on what your comments are about right now. I feel like people just come here and just say stuff, and they're ignorant. Like they literally don't have the information or knowledge of what they're talking about. And if you do have the knowledge, and if you do watch the show all the time, then that's even more concerning because you must not be listening to what I'm saying.
He's not listening. We disrespect them apparently. Because I know you talk to him like I do, right? You talk to Deion and you know there's people there. You have players there too that play for him, right? You motherfuckers are delusional, bro. This is why you guys are so fucking stuck on being a dick rider and instead of leaving your own legacy. You'd rather follow a man you don't even know. By the way, Chuck, Deion don't know who you are, homie. And he never will. And nobody else knows you at Colorado. I'm sorry to tell you. You're a nobody. Nobody knows you, dog. You're a fucking bottom feeder. No one knows you. You have no profile picture in this thing, not a member. You're nobody, homie. You're an absolute nobody. I don't understand why it's so hard for you to understand that. Nobody cares about you. Nobody. Not Colorado, not Deion Sanders, not anyone. It's funny to me, and I want to make it about you, Chuck, this first few minutes, because the dick riders who need a gallon of Listerine to carry around to gargle with not only my nuts, but Deion Sanders' nuts is a sad, sad thing, dog. You're getting your 15 minutes today, Chuck, because you're a nobody. And I know, we all know you probably are Dalvin. You probably are the guy that chases us down and creates a 3-hour spaces for us. You motherfuckers create a 3-hour space out of your mind. You motherfuckers went out of your mind and made a thumbnail for us, homie. You made a thumbnail for us. A grown man made a thumbnail for another grown man, and they don't even got a show, Smitty. They did a Spaces on a Twitter that has nobody following them.
That was like they really would like went to Photoshop, like took the time, JB,
They took
like
the time.
edited.
Homie, they created a Photoshop. They hired a motherfucker.
Call Bailey.
Homie, they hired a motherfucker. The cool part is they spent money on us to talk about us. And Carl Reed, by the way, is one of the most recognizable black faces in college and high school sports, in football, and NIL negotiations. Number one, probably one of the biggest names. Paul Feinbaum has him on every week. He's on 247, one of the leading leaders for black men in the NIL space in college football for 247. And you guys created a Spaces about Matt having him on the show. The hypocrisy is at an all-time high for you dick riders. Like, I'm just keeping it real. You dick riders are unbelievable. Chuck, we're going to keep you in the show all day long. You'll be a special co-host today. You're going to be a special co-host today. And it's funny, too. The cats that talk about Smitty and talk about JB's talking about black women, first of all, don't know me, number one, because Smitty wouldn't be on the show if he didn't know who I was and had some recognition on who I was. But number two, you motherfuckers would never even ever come close to telling me that in my face because you don't know what real is. And if you saw me in your face, you'd tremble in your boots, bitch boys. Like, let's just keep it real.
Yeah, I'm going to be real with y'all, too, man. Like,
yeah, they don't get it, homie.
Damn near 80%, and I haven't met everybody, of course, but JB got damn near more brothers as his homies than any other race, if I'm being real with you. Like,
the thing is, these cats don't have a clue, dog. And that's the funny part, because the real ones on social media understand it and know it. And then the real ones come out there and be like, I bet you wouldn't say shit in person to JB. Like, real brothers know.
Yeah.
And you got these dick riders, dog. That's what they are. They're really dick riders.
And Shaun, I am the cookout, motherfucker. I ain't invited. I am that. Fuck you talking
Hey, Gorgian. Because, motherfucker, that's what I want to do. It's my show, motherfucker. Why are you so worried about me? You're the same motherfucker we're talking about, homie. Another grown man worried about another grown man. Motherfucker, because I want to talk about it. Chuck, shut the fuck up. You're a bitch. Chuck, you're a bitch. You're an absolute bitch. And I'll drop you my address, homie. And whenever you feeling froggy, come leave. That's what y'all don't get. I literally give you my address, bitch boy, and I ain't never had nobody pop up. Why is that? Because you all think I'm an actor. You all think there's screenshots out there. Go show me a screenshot, motherfucker, since you know so much. But you won't drop that screenshot of me giving you my address. Oh, bitch ass. Let's move on. And I'm done with the chat, but I had to start there because
that was fun, though. The great start, good energy,
positive. Yeah. Matt's gonna join us here in about 30. We got lots to discuss, but let's get right into the show because you did such an elegant breakdown of our blocks. It's you and I to start off, and we're gonna do something today that you brought up. We're gonna do our top 5. You're going to do your top 5. I'm going to do my top 10.
Ooh.
Greatest JUCO players who played in the NFL.
That's going to be a good one. I got a strong list. I have no idea what your list is going to be. I'm assuming we're going to share some similar names, though. You know what I mean? It's some guys that are so legendary that they just got to be on the list. So we'll see. I'm excited to see your 10, though.
Yeah, and then somebody in the chat, I would address it because we're going to go back and forth addressing you guys all day long. Because you know what? I'm going to be honest, Smitty. Mm-hmm. I got to find me some new haters. The old one's starting to like me too much.
Got you.
The old haters. My old haters.
You done sold them, huh? You done sold them. You done got them. You done got them on your side now. Now they're part of the cult.
My old haters are starting to fucking like me. So I got to get me some new haters, dog. Somebody said, why JV block everybody on Twitter? Because you're nobodies. You think I'm going to go back and forth with you? Nobodies? It's a beautiful thing that I can block you, bitch boys. What do you mean? It's a great thing that I get to block you. The block button is great. It's unbelievable. And it's actually, I get my last word into you. and then you're like typing, and I block you in the middle of your thing, and I don't see you no more. I don't ever see you again. Like, it's comical to block you nobodies. You're nobody. What do you mean? Why do I block you?
Shout out to Shaun Mills, man. $9.99 for the studio.
Oh,
appreciate you, Shaun.
It's fucking unbelievable. I love the block feature. It's unbelievable.
The block is hot.
I love it. Oh, I love it. I actually love it, dog. It makes like.
How do you block somebody in real life? Like,
how do you block somebody?
What's the Twitter equivalent to like real life in person, physically? You can see that like somebody didn't piss you off. How do you block that person in real life? That's the question.
You don't have to too much because all these pussies will never say anything to you in person. This is funny though. Who do you think this is?
Buffs News Weekly, huh? JB, you just dedicated a segment to Dalvin, but block him on Twitter. How is he a nobody and you just did a segment on him?
I don't know if we did a segment on him. I mentioned his name, maybe once or twice. But anyway, how do you know I blocked him? Because you got to really do some fucking deep diving, Smitty, to know who blocked who. How did you know I blocked them? Hey, Buffs Weekly. See, I knew you weren't very smart, Dalvin the Truth, or whatever the fuck your name is, you nobody. I knew you weren't very smart, but you didn't have to tell the whole chat that that's who you are. You should have just kept your name Dalvin the Truth.
Played it smooth, kept the player.
I'm not gonna make a new name to tell us who he really is without saying his name. Dog, this motherfucker put in, because dog, I couldn't tell you who anybody blocked on Twitter, Smitty. That would be a monumental feat for me. I don't. Is there a way to do it?
Let me see. I'm real good.
Smitty, how can I find out who you blocked?
I'm real good on Twitter. Let me see.
This motherfucker, these prime sexuals actually expose themselves live on this show. Like, we got to be like the best fucking prime sexual show going right now. It's crazy for a guy like Smitty who defends them all the time, and for only Matt and I to. By the way, Smitty,
I don't know.
Have Matt and I argued to where we've hung up on each other over Deion Sanders and Prime? Hasn't Matt defended Prime and University of Colorado more often than anybody else?
Matt has got pissed on this show. Yes, pissed.
It's crazy. So he has an opinion about what's been stacking up over the last few months, and now he's the hater. After he had Deion on the show, they're calling him all this shit. And I'm like, what?
Look, let me tell you this. I think what it comes down to, they keep saying he's flip-flopping depending who he's speaking with. They're saying when he's talking to you, he gives one take. He talks to somebody else who's a Deion supporter, he gives another take. I think that's false. I think what it is, there's different conversations being had with different people. So because on this show and JB asked a certain question about Deion of Colorado, well, Matt will have a certain opinion about that particular question. If he's talking to Carl Reed or talking to Deion himself and the conversation is going another way, then the conversation will be different. Like I host a lot, I interview a lot, I got different podcasts, I do a lot of this type of stuff. And the way I talk on this show isn't the same way I talk on another show necessarily. I'm the same person. I'm not saying you're a different person. I'm just saying the conversation is different. The topics are different. So it's not about flip-flopping. Matt still to this day has said what he is. He loves Coach Prime. He loves Colorado more as the foundation more than anything, but he's still going to be critical at times if there's things going on that he disagrees with or that he doesn't like. That's all I'm saying. Like that's what I've seen. Now again, I ain't seeing every single little thing Matt does, but when he comes on this show, to me, that's what I see. To me, you guys should respect him more for getting an honest take versus like if he just 100% just agree with every single thing Colorado does, then that would just yell extreme bias, and it would almost invalidate his takes or his opinion. So I think it adds more credibility when you can hear someone say, you know what, I actually don't agree with that decision, and here's why. He's never actually disrespected Deion at all. I have not heard Matt disrespect Deion personally.
I mean, he hasn't. That's the thing about it. Like he's doing his thing now. Like It's crazy that y'all can come in this chat and watch our show every day, like G Wizzy and all these other fucking bitch ass made cats, and then think that they're in this show every day, but they're absolutely nobodies. Like we don't have a resume on none of you. You absolutely are a nobody. You're in this show every day, but then all you do is talk about us. Like, what does that make you, homie? I'm trying to figure out what makes you motherfuckers in here who watches grown men do a show every day, and obviously y'all ain't working. Y'all ain't helping nobody. Chuck, you don't watch it every day because you just created a name to come in here with a profile, dumb fuck. We know you. We know who you are. You're probably 3 Dalvin Truths.